Welcome to lesson 029 of Online School of Entrepreneurship. I am Dr. Kirian Mfam. In today's lecture, we will dwell on entrepreneurial ecosystem. Upon completion of this lecture, our audience will be able to 1. Define entrepreneurial ecosystem, and 2. Highlight by way of explanation on the components of entrepreneurial ecosystem. Definition of entrepreneurial ecosystem. There is not yet a widely shared definition of entrepreneurial ecosystem among researchers or practitioners. The first component of the term is entrepreneurial, which is a process in which opportunities for creating new goods and services are explored, evaluated, and exploited. That is as stated by Skumta 1934, Shane and Venkataraman 2000. The entrepreneurial ecosystem approach often narrows this entrepreneurship down to high-profit startups or scale-ups, claiming that this type of entrepreneurship is an important source of innovation, productivity growth, and employment. That is as stated by World Economic Forum 2013, Mason and Brown 2014. Empirically, this claim seems too exclusive, as networks of innovative startups or entrepreneurial employees can also be forms of productive entrepreneurship, as stated by Bamol 1993. Even failed ventures can be productive for society, as stated by Davidson 2004. However, innovative and growth-oriented entrepreneurship appears to be increasingly emphasized in the entrepreneurship literature. The second component of the term is ecosystem, which borrows from biology, where ecosystem, that is ecological system, has been defined as a biotic community, its physical environment, and all the interactions possible in the complex of living and non-living components, as stated by Tasley 1935. The definition of an entrepreneurial ecosystem, based on a synthesis of definitions found in the literature as given by OECD, is as follows. Entrepreneurial ecosystem is a set of interconnected entrepreneurial actors, both potential and existing. Entrepreneurial organizations, example, firms, venture capitalists, business angels, banks, institutions such as universities, public sector agencies, financial bodies, and entrepreneurial processes, example, the business birth rate, numbers of high growth firms, levels of blockbuster entrepreneurship, number of serial entrepreneurs, degree of sell-out mentality within firms, and levels of entrepreneurial ambition, which formally and informally coalesce to connect, mediate, and govern the performance within the local entrepreneurial environment. All of us are endowed with skills, abilities, and capabilities. However, the reason why some of us are so successful, whereas others languish, is merely due to the way in which these traits are nurtured, encouraged, and enabled. For instance, we need to go to the right schools, have supportive families, and be mentored at all stages of our lives, so that we do not make any missteps or commit blunders and mistakes that will prove detrimental to our progress. In other words, talent has to be nurtured if it has to flourish. In the same manner in which this happens in our individual lives, entrepreneurs too need enabling and empowering environments which not only ensure that their game-changing ideas are translated into actionable pursuits, but also ensure that these entrepreneurs have the necessary ecosystem in which they can thrive and prosper. In short, the entrepreneurial ecosystem comprises of all the stakeholders, including government, bureaucracy, funders, and consumers. Components of entrepreneurial ecosystem. For the actualization of an enabling and empowering entrepreneurial ecosystem, there is need to be venture capitalists who will fund the startups and angel investors who persist with the ventures despite initial hiccups. Next, the government has to have laws and policies that will encourage and regulate entrepreneurs by giving them tax breaks, benefits, and land and facilities, including roads, infrastructure such as international airports, and the like, so that global investors flock to these ecosystems. Further, the bureaucracy should not throw spanners in the works of the entrepreneurs through meaningless rules and regulations, and instead must speed up the decision-making process as well as implement single window clearances. Moreover, there must be a talent pool of skilled and employable workers who will staff the startups and ensure that when they take off, the ventures have the necessary people to drive their businesses. In the course of this lecture, and in line with our instructional objectives, we were able to 1. Define entrepreneurial ecosystem, and 2. Explain the components of entrepreneurial ecosystem. Please support us by 1. Following us on our Facebook page, Online School of Entrepreneurship. 2. Subscribing to our YouTube channel, Entrepreneurship Teacher. And 3. Liking, commenting, and sharing our posts. Thank you, and see you in our next lecture.